So, in an interesting turn of events, the first episode of Craptacular Horror Reviews was Killer Pinata. And I posted it on social media, obviously it went up on YouTube, and I got a Facebook message from the director of Killer Pinata. He was cool with me tearing into it, because, he explained to me, how long they had to shoot and the minuscule budget, which I won't get into. I don't know if it's common knowledge, if he's shared that in interviews or anything, so I won't share that just in case it's not, public knowledge. So, he doesn't freak out when people, tear into it. He then offered to send me a screener's link of Bride of the Killer Pinata, and I, of course, said yes. But because I have every single movie planned out for the rest of the year for Craptacular Horror Reviews, this is a Craptacular Horror Review special. So we get a quick recap of the first movie, and apparently KP, Killer Pinata, it pulled itself back together and it found other pinatas to do battle and go against humans, and Lindsay recruits an entire group, well, not a whole group, but a couple of people to help fight. Eliza Jane Morris is back as Lindsay, and her acting has improved immensely. She kind of went from "for the love of God, stop talking" to "I want more of you." But one day, KP just does not get up, and they lock him in a case like fucking Annabelle from the Conjuring series, the real Annabelle, which is a Raggedy Ann doll, not the creepy thing we got in the movies. And we fast forward. It's been, dead for a decade, I believe it was, but there's also a serial killer on the loose. And the twist of who that is, I really actually liked the twist. The character ended up being, it's okay, this he's kind of a dick, but he's not necessarily a killer. Turns out he was. And as we find out, Lindsay, who is now married to the character of Nat, who is played by Natalie Younger, they have a child, and there's a random pinata, a unicorn, in the kid's room, and it snuggles up to the kid while it sleeps, which is a little weird, but it's not trying to kill the kid or Lindsay or Nat, so it's this is a good pinata. But then disaster strikes, because this really goth dude, awakens him, Lord Chain, I think his name was, which is pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, that guy, Casey James Brockway, he hammed it up big time, but in the best possible way. But anyway, they woke up KP, and immediately he rips a guy's face off. He rips a guy's dick off and throws it at another guy, going through his mouth and out his skull. And it's here's the killer pinata I know. At one point, there's a woman just kind of laying dying in the backyard, and her husband comes up and says to her, "I need to know a life without your constant nagging." It's beautiful dialogue. I love it. We also get the origin of LP, who is the loving pinata, as she likes to call herself. The two pinatas, they talk to each other. It's in grunts and but we get subtitles, so we know what they're saying. But we get her origin. But unlike KP's in the original, which was animated, we actually get to see how she became a pinata. And the whole thing is actually pretty brutal, but also well done. Joette Waters returns as the crazy hook lady out of nowhere. It's wait a minute, weren't you murdered in the first movie? And, it's kind of a stereotypical reasoning. It's oh, hey, I was brought back to life to get the killer pinata. It's oh, okay. But she does have an absolutely hysterical scene where she's, blocking bullets with her hook. And it's amazing. The sound and picture quality for Bride of the Killer Pinata is leagues ahead of the original movie. It is so much better. The acting is also overall better, even if some of the dialogue is corny, but also hysterical, like the "I need to know life without your constant nagging." It's corny, but it's fucking hysterically amazing. And it's got good effects. One of the good things about the first movie was that it had great effects. So I gotta hand it to the cast and crew of Bride of the Killer Pinata. They took what they did with the first movie, and they learned from it. And this one, while ridiculous, and I would still put it under, you know, the quote-unquote bad horror movie genre. Actually, is it a genre? It's a genre now. It is so much better, like in every way, in terms of quality and the acting and the effects and just everything compared to the first movie. Where I gave the first one 4.5 shits because it really is that fucking bad. I'm only going to give Bride of the Killer Pinata 1 shit. Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see a new Craptacular Horror review every week. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie, or if you have a film you'd like to see reviewed in the future. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.